Purdue won 9 games for the first time since 2003. And now the program has their sights set on their first ever Big Ten West title. But can the Boilermakers do it? That's what we're going to predict today. So welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, guys, ready to break down, analyze, and predict Purdue's schedule and record for this upcoming college football season. A season that is filled with excitement in West Lafayette. And rightfully so. Purdue, guys, 9-4 last year with that thrilling victory over Tennessee in their bowl game, returns tons of production and might be the best team within the Big Ten West Division. You take a look at the numbers, guys, brought to you by College Football Encyclopedia. The Boilermakers returned 67% of their production from last year, ranks 52nd in the country, and the big-time playmaker for the entire team is their star quarterback in Aiden O'Connell. If Purdue's going to get to Indianapolis to play for a Big Ten championship, it's going to be because of Aiden O'Connell, a guy who threw for over 3,700 yards, 28 touchdowns last year, and completed over 71% of his passes. He's going to be the leader. He's going to be the strength of the offense, one that ranked 33rd nationally last year. Purdue's run game is completely non-existent. They've been last in the Big Ten in the rush game from the last 3 years, but Aiden O'Connell doesn't have to rely on that, doesn't need that, because Purdue's been winning through the air for the last few years without the run anyways. He's got Tyrone Tracy transferring in from Iowa. He's got Milton Wright back at wide receiver. A very solid tight end core. This Purdue offense will be one of the best within the Big Ten. No doubt about it. You take a look at the defense. It's not bad either. Jeff Brom has put together a solid unit on that side of the ball. 8 starters back. Yes, they lose George Karlaftis. Big loss there, but not devastating for this defensive unit. The front 7 is still going to remain very, very strong. The secondary, pretty solid, but does have a few questions back there. But overall, this Purdue unit, guys, one that ranked 48th nationally last year, isn't bad and should be able to hold their own against the other opponents within their division. You take a look at the schedule, guys. Can Purdue eclipse last year's win total? Can they win the Big Ten West? A lot of that will be decided right in week 1 when they take on Penn State, because that's going to show you whether or not Purdue's legit or not. Can they take down the Nittany Lions on Thursday night at home? If they win that, full steam ahead. If not, are the hopes over? No, not at all. But it's going to be a very disappointing way to start a year filled with so much excitement. The thing is, guys, I think Purdue does beat Penn State. I think Purdue does beat Penn State in West Lafayette. Purdue owns the clear offensive advantage. They own the home field advantage. I do think Penn State owns the defensive advantage, but not by a significant amount. Not by a significant amount. And I think Purdue's defense can shut down Sean Clifford in this Penn State offense to the point where they're not able to score that much, probably not more than 21, 24 points. And Purdue's offense, I do believe, can light up the Nittany Lions. Do I think it's a blowout? No. But I do think that Purdue will win this game. A lot of excitement. Thursday night game in West Lafayette. Jeff Brom and his squad typically play very well at home, and they're going to deliver week 1, get the win. They beat Indiana State. They're 2-0, and then they go on the road to Syracuse. Simply put, guys, all Purdue has to do here is stop the run. We've already predicted Syracuse so far, and we believe this is a Syracuse team that's loaded with talent, but ultimately their record isn't going to show how good this team is. It's just how bad the schedule is. But if Purdue can stop the run game, which is what Syracuse wants to do and what they're good at, they'll win the game. And I think Jeff Brom's going to come up with a fine defensive plan to do that, because I don't have faith in Garrett Schrader being able to throw the ball. Syracuse is going to be a little too one-dimensional here. Purdue also a little one-dimensional, but their passing game is definitely going to outweigh the run game. I do believe they go into the Carrier Dome and get the win, guys. Syracuse, guys, just not going to be able to hang with the guys from the Big Ten. Purdue does beat Florida Atlantic, so they run through the month of September undefeated, 4-0 in a top 20 team. Shouldn't be an issue. 4-0. Then the schedule gets tough, because that's when they hit Big Ten play. The majority of it, at least. They go on the road to Minnesota. Minnesota team that no one really knows what to expect from, right? They had a top 3 defense from last year, quietly won 9 games. Purdue lost to them last year 20-13. And here's the thing, they lost to the Golden Gophers in West Lafayette. Now they have to go to Minnesota, a Minnesota team whose offense should improve drastically. New offensive coordinator, Tanner Morgan returns, Mohamed Ibrahim returns, Chris Ottman-Bell returns, offensive line solid, and the defense, again, top 3 nationally last year, is going to remain strong again. So Purdue, losing at home last year, now has to go to on the road to face what could potentially be a better Minnesota team. I just don't think they're going to be able to pull this one off. So they fall to Minnesota, and then come home and take on Maryland. And if you like offense, especially if you like good quarterback play, pass-happy teams, this is going to be the game for you. Because Aiden O'Connell and Purdue are going to keep airing it out, no doubt about that. No issues there. Maryland and Talia Tagovailoa are going to air it out. because I believe Talia Tagovailoa and that wide receiver core will be one of the best passing attacks, maybe not just in the Big Ten, but maybe in the entire country. And I look at this game, guys, and I go, that's back-to-back road games for Purdue. They only had one in the entire month of September. It was at Syracuse, not horrible there. But now they get back-to-back games. They might be a little hungover after their first loss to Minnesota, and I think they do slip up to Maryland. That's how good I think this Maryland team can be. I think the Maryland's passing attack is going to be so tough to stop. This is going to be probably the best offense that Purdue has faced so far. And I think Maryland's going to be able to exploit that Purdue defense. And again, isn't bad, but does have a few questions in the secondary. And I believe Tagovailoa and this offense deliver. Purdue has handed their second loss. And that's going to be possibly devastating for their Big Ten title hopes. The West is so wide open, so it doesn't end everything, but it leaves very little room for error going forward. We do think Purdue bounces back with a win over Nebraska. They beat Nebraska 28-23 on the road last year. And yes, Nebraska's getting better. New quarterback, new offensive coordinator, defense should be better, all those things. If Purdue can win in Lincoln last year, they can win at home now. I fully believe that. And from an offensive standpoint, a consistency standpoint, everything across the board, I think Purdue owns the edge. I think they own the edge in every single category. Tack on home field advantage, I do believe they defeat the Cornhuskers. No doubt about it. Then Wisconsin. That's the big one, guys. This is the game that could determine the Big Ten West. Because right now, if you ask me, the top three teams in the West are, in no order, Wisconsin, Iowa, and Purdue. How those three fare against each other will probably determine who wins the Big Ten West. And you look at this Wisconsin game, guys. Purdue has lost 15 straight to the Badgers. 15 straight games to Wisconsin. Last year, a lot of people, including myself, thought that Purdue could get over the hump and upset Wisconsin. The Badgers weren't doing that great. Purdue was getting hot. And at home, they fell to Wisconsin 30-13. Couldn't do anything against that Badgers defense that was number one in the country last year. Well, now Purdue is going to Wisconsin. They're going to Madison against a defense that once again will be a top 10 unit. Could again be the best in the nation. Yes, Wisconsin's offense isn't great, but they don't need it to be if their defense keeps lighting it up and forces a few turnovers. The offense can punch it in from about 10, 25 yards out. If you don't need Graham Mertz to drive the length of the field, you're going to be just fine. And Wisconsin's not going to need him to do that when they play Purdue in Madison. I believe the Badgers do beat Purdue for the 16th straight time. 16 straight wins for the Badgers, guys. Again, if it was at home, this might be the year we'd be picking Purdue. But in Madison, such a tough place to play, the stakes being as high as ever, I think Wisconsin still pulls out the win here. That is Purdue's third conference loss, guys. And again, not really ruining their Big Ten title hopes because we don't know how the rest are going to fare, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to overcome that to get to Indianapolis now. They get their bye week, guys. Tack on that Purdue could just be worn down. You're going to play almost 2 months of football before getting a bye week, and that Wisconsin game could add to that. But you look at the bye week, guys. You look at the month of November, and it's not bad. The month of November is very, very manageable. Illinois and Northwestern, arguably the two worst teams in the Big Ten, two teams that will struggle this year. Indiana, another bad team. The toughest test is Iowa. And here's the thing. Remember last year, Iowa was the second-ranked team in the country, and Purdue walked into Kinnick Stadium and torched them 24-7. Iowa, and that magical great defense, didn't know how to stop Aiden O'Connell in this passing attack. And for the second straight year, that's what's going to happen again. If Purdue can walk into Kinnick and win last year by 17, they can absolutely win with an arguably better team in West Lafayette, no doubt about it. So, and including they get the week of rest, they get a week to prep and everything. They're going to take down Iowa because the Hawkeyes have no offense whatsoever. So they beat Iowa for the second year in a row, and then I think they win out. I think they win their last three games, just to make it simple. They will beat Illinois, they'll beat Northwestern, they will beat Indiana. Last year they beat Illinois 13-9. It's on the road, a bit of a trap game, yes, because we don't know exactly what to expect from the Fighting Illini this year, but they're still going to struggle offensively, and the defense is just going to be mediocre. I think Purdue, riding the high after Iowa, should get past Illinois. Might be close, should take them down. Last year they beat Northwestern 32-14 on the road. The Wildcats, once again, have no offense whatsoever. This is senior night for the Boilermakers, so add that into the emotions and the urgency to win. Shouldn't be an issue there. And then, of course, the rivalry game at Indiana. You never know what can happen in a rivalry game. Indiana, though, we don't expect them to have much. They lost to the Boilermakers 44-7 last year. 44-7, and now Indiana's dealing with a whole influx of transfers on both sides of the ball. They might not gel as well as Tom Allen wants them to. The Hoosiers, 2-10 last year, will be a little bit better, but not enough to get a 37-point swing to take down the Boilermakers. So Purdue will win their finale over their rival. They go undefeated in the month of November, and they finish 9-3 in the regular season. Whether or not that is good enough to get to the Big Ten championship, that remains to be seen. Depends on how Wisconsin does. Depends on how Iowa does. But depends on how Nebraska does even. They are a dark horse candidate as well. But you look at Purdue, guys. 9 wins in the regular season. A few years ago, that would have been unheard of. That would have been unexpected. People would have laughed at you. Purdue, 9-3, guys. They might not make the Big Ten championship, but they will go to a solid potential New Year's Day bowl game. And if they can win that bowl game, Purdue will clinch their first 10-win season since 1979. And if you can't get happy and excited about that, I don't know what will get you hyped and excited. First 10-win season since 1979. We believe the Boilermakers will get that. 9 wins here and a bowl win in January. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below. That includes our expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Make sure to check those out and sign up for those today. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.